What's up, Sooner Nation? Welcome back to the Sooner Surge softball edition coming at you today as we are getting closer and closer to the start of the Sooner softball season at the Puerto Valera. Yeah, I can't pronounce it, I know. Classic. And before we do that, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please make sure you do so. We drop a lot of content, especially Sooner softball content, as we get close to the season and it ramps up. Going to do a little Sooner Surge softball senior spotlight each week. And we're going to start with one of those super seniors. This class is elite. And we're going to start with Jada Coleman. Jada Coleman, again, has not ever missed a game. She started every game in her illustrious career here at the University of Oklahoma, having a lifetime batting average well over 400, career batting average. Her fielding percentage is near perfect at 99. There's so many adjectives you could use to describe when you still wouldn't get them right. Jada Coleman is elite. Jada Coleman is an exceptional leader. Jada Coleman last year increased her home run numbers immensely. So going into this last season for Jada Coleman, Jackson, I expect those things to continue. And Jada Coleman is the type of player and athlete who's always going to find something to get better at. It'll be interesting what that is this year.
That's right. And as you said, you could come up with hundreds of adjectives to describe Jada Coleman, man. She's electric. And I think it's fair to say, out of all the current players on the softball team, she's maybe made the most of an impact on girls around the world for college softball than any other player, right? Because you just talk about, the electric that she plays with. She robs home runs, it seems like every other game, Jeremy. Every other game, right? She can hit the home run. She can steal the clutch base. Her fielding is maybe the best on the whole entire team, and they have Kinsey Hansen and Tiara Jennings out there fielding as well. So she's just incredible. She leads by example. She is a dog, right? If I was going to start a softball team with anyone on this current Oklahoma team, I'm starting my team with Jada Coleman. I just think she's that kind of player. She's that kind of leader, and she does everything for Patty Gasso in Oklahoma.
Yeah, you can start at the plate. You can talk about the fielding, but if you start at the plate, as a leadoff hitter, she sets the tone. She sets the tone a lot in the locker room, I'm sure, but on the field, Jada Coleman is a tone setter from the get-go. You have to deal with her right off the bat as an opposing pitcher. Not only does she have the power to lead off the game with a bomb, but she also has the patience to get on base with the walk. And then if she gets on base, she's looking to steal a base. So from the beginning of the game, Jada Coleman presents a problem. It's a problem on the opposing teams because there's so much you have to worry about. It's automatic. It's right off the bat anxiety from the other team because they have to deal with this pressure of getting others out, because you look at who's going to come up after Coleman, they're elite hitters. And it's just kind of stacking it up from the beginning. But Jada Coleman is the leadoff and presents a problem right from the get-go. And I think that's one thing that's so cool about Jada Coleman is it's right off the bat.
That's right. And, for me, whenever I think of a play or a moment that best describes Jada Coleman, it's the 2022 World Series in Game 1 where she robs that home run in the first inning over the wall. And, if she doesn't rob that home run, Oklahoma might lose that game, right? And they're having to play in a deciding Game 3. So it's just that she was able to make that play, right? And you could just feel it whenever she robbed that home run. You knew Oklahoma was going to win that game. The electricity was back in the crowd. You saw the reaction from Jada Coleman. She knew she had got the momentum back to Oklahoma side. And, I also just think that there's just so many other plays as well. And, I think also just her clutch gene too is there. And I think that, as, we've said, is what sets her apart from not only a lot of players and maybe even a lot of the seniors on this Oklahoma team, but a lot of just players across the whole entire country in college softball. And there's an argument that she's the best player right now in all of softball.
Yeah, you mentioned the term clutch gene. Jada Coleman has it. some players just have a knack for the special moments, and not just one, not just two. I mean, we can count a lot of special moments where Jada Coleman has come through in the clutch. That's who she is. And the other thing outside of softball, like you mentioned earlier, Jackson, is Jada Coleman's done everything the right way, from in the locker room to on the field to in the community. She is an exceptional human being in how she serves others. And that's why you have to talk about Jada Coleman as one of the best, greatest Sooners of all time in the softball world. And I tell you, it's not going to surprise me one bit, Jackson, if she leads off the game at Loves Field, first game at Loves Field with the bomb. That's the clutch gene she has, and it goes way beyond softball, and that's what makes her separate from a lot of others.
That's right. And I also think her as a human stands out because I remember it was 2022. I went to the College World Series. And, it was versus UCLA in which they lost that game one. But after game two, I remember we were staying there, had to wait for traffic to clear out for a while. And, it was like 30 minutes probably after the game ended. She was still out there signing autographs, taking photos with all these fans along the fence. Like, not a lot of players do that, especially the superstar player, right? So, I mean, once again, just the kind of human she is. I would say that through her, we see a lot of what has been instilled through her by Patty Gasso. And obviously, she's a 101, Jeremy. I would say that.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm going to ask you a couple things before we close this, and I want the viewers to drop their comments. Her best season was 17 home runs. Over or under her last season, you think?
Probably, I would say over because why not, man? Why not?
She increases every year. Yeah, I expect this is what I'm going to say right now. Bold take. I expect Jada Coleman to go 20 home runs minimum and 20 stolen bases. 2020 club.
Yeah, I mean that would be incredible, and she probably would win the Player of the Year. I would say in college softball if she's able to do that.
Oh yeah, and the thing is, what makes her so special are all these things. And as viewers, we've been dropping the content. Make sure you guys comment on these videos. It really helps us out, and we like hearing from you. But what do you expect from Jada Coleman her last year in Norman? It's going to be a special one. I know that because it's Jada Coleman, and that's what she's about. Thanks again for subscribing to the Sooner Surge. As you know, the content will ramp up as softball season gets closer. This is our first senior spotlight. There'll be more of these each week as this senior class at OU is probably the best of all time, just laced with great seniors. So make sure you're subscribed. Appreciate you watching. Till next time, Boomer.
Boomer.